Sounds good. All right. Hey. Oh my God, this is so wild. I'm so nervous right now, but I'm so excited. And you just heard from Blair, and as she was saying, she gave me a little introduction. But today, first off, I'm just honored that Carlita even asked me to talk to y'all. And I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to promote 25 directs. And I'll get more into this in a second, but just a little bit of background about me for anyone that doesn't know who I am, which is basically everyone in that room, I assume. But my name is Jill Lyons, and I'm a national vice president in Arbonne. And obviously, I don't know why I said Arbonne. Obviously, you guys know that. But my journey started 2 years ago. My Arbonne anniversary was the end of May. But my husband is in the Coast Guard, and that's how I was introduced to Arbonne because of Blair. Her husband, they're best friends, and they're both serving in the military. But what is so cool is my husband's got 15 years left, and when he's done serving our country for 20 years, he won't have to. Can you hear me? We good?
You're good. You're good.
Okay, but so he has 5 years left, and because of Arbonne, at the age of 39, when he's done serving our country, he doesn't have to go back to another 20-year career. And I have a physical education background, a nutrition minor. I was a college athlete, and because of the military life, I could never really establish a teaching job. And also, I just use that as an excuse to never find a teaching job because I am not passionate about that, and I never wanted to be a teacher. God bless all the teachers out there. My mom taught for 34 years, and that's why I went into it. And it was literally before Arbonne, it was just gloom and doom over my head every single day, knowing that when we're done having kids, I'd have to find a teaching career. And it wasn't in my soul to do it. So long story short, when I was 29 weeks pregnant with my second daughter, my husband, we were struggling so bad financially. It was really, really a hard time for us. And he basically said, after we have this baby, you need to find a teaching job or you need to figure out what this Arbonne thing is. And I was introduced to Arbonne from Blair and a few other people where we live in North Carolina. And what I want to talk to you guys about real quick is what I figured out, and it wasn't until I was RVP, I was talked to in the wrong language about Arbonne. And I recommend you guys, this book right here, I hope the screen is forward. Carlita, you can let me know. I can switch my screen to mirror. But this is on Amazon, and it's like $8. And I didn't read this book until after I was a regional vice president. And I was introduced to Arbonne for 8 to 9 months, and I was being talked to in the wrong language. And this was a huge game changer in my business. And I truly, when I talk to people now, like I am very good at picking up on what color personality they are. And the book is called The 4 Color Personalities for MLM, and there's 4 puzzle pieces. And I was being talked to in the wrong color language. And it wasn't until Blair came up to me when I was hugely pregnant and shook me and basically said, do you know how much money you can make with this? And I have never even used Arbonne. I could stand behind it because I know, I was educated in health and wellness and all that. So I knew I could stand behind it, but I looked at the business side of things, a business mind. And my family needed money, you guys. It came down to that. We were so financially strapped on a 1-family income on a military budget. And and people tell me all the time, well, you make Arbonne look easy. You guys, to me, this is easy. Not that, but what was hard, life is hard. Watching the financial stress crumble my husband's shoulders and saying no to my oldest daughter because we couldn't afford to do things, that was hard. Using the Pearson safest products in the world and educating people and helping a lot of other people, that comes easy when you know what hard is. And I own that because I remember where I came from. And, so basically I'm going to be talking to you guys on how to promote 25 directs. And how Carlita came up with that training is because for AIT this year, I promoted 25 direct people to me. And last year for Jamaica, I did 11 and I was #1 in the company. So I knew going into this AIT that I wanted to beat my number of 11 because my biggest competitor is myself. I don't care what all these other people are doing. I look at me and I want to be a better person than I woke up yesterday. And that's how I do my business. But I truly honed in on, and we did this, I did last weekend for our leadership retreat, I talked about building smart, going wider, and maximizing a compensation plan. And you can't grow with if you're not building smart and maximizing the comp plan. So I'm going to intertwine that training with some other stuff that I wanted to add in for you guys. But I truly honed in on that. And the first half of my business, I knew to grow wide, like I did because I was extremely wide, but I wasn't building smart. And it wasn't until like in between RVP and MVP that I truly looked at the comp plan and realizing that we are capped on our depth. So I thought volume was volume. And I did this, like I said, this past weekend, and I blew so many minds, and they're just thanking me. Like, I had no idea. So now hopefully we can start new people off fresh. But since day one of starting my business, end of May 2017, I stopped seeking just advice from average people. You know, you got to look at people. Would you switch your spot with that person giving you advice? If the answer is no, don't take their advice. People that are content with average, just average income, average results, average just everything. I started seeking advice from people that I want what they have. I'm going to take their advice. And since day one, I've been probably Carlita's #1 YouTube subscriber before she even knew me. And I cannot wait for that picture of Maui with my oldest daughter and Carlita, because Sadie knows Carlita's voice because she's always streaming. You know, I started following successful people since day one and removed all the negativity in my life. You are an average of the 5 people you hang out with the most. Are they adding fuel to your fire, or are they dousing it? You know, eliminate the ones that are dousing it. And if you can't eliminate them, hey guys, if you can't eliminate them, limit your time with them. And I took a good, cold, hard look at my life when I started my business and eliminated anyone that wasn't serving me and surrounded myself that brought my average up. So right off the bat, that was the #1 thing I did. That was just a personal development that I did. But, you know, people called my husband, they called me and said, no one ever makes money doing those things. No one ever gets a car, and that added fuel to my fire. And I can honestly say, you know, I never let any of that slow me down. And I feel like so many times people on our teams, they join and then their spouse gets to them, their best friend, anything like that, and they quit. You know, so right off the bat, we gotta keep that strong going, that strong mindset. If you control this, you are unstoppable. But I never let anything slow me down. And even the people that, oh my God, you're spending the weekend away from your kids, or even if you're working full time and you're doing that and you're building a business, like making you feel guilty, it's like they're never gonna offer to pay your bills and they're never gonna watch your kids. So stop taking their advice. But I can honestly sit here and say, and this isn't a prideful thing, but I've never put down my personal activity, my personal business. And since day one of watching Carlita, she always says, Faith, your family, your personal business, and your success line. And I held true to that. And I'm speaking at Peer Impact, and I'm going to do this with a line graph, but I went back just for my own record to show my PQV, you know, while having a full calendar, sharing this business, and then my success line. And looking at it, like I never lost focus of my personal activity, even when people quit. And I'm going to show you, I don't know if you can see this, but this is May to May in the past 2 years of my business. And even when I got into area qual right here, I did 5,000. My one strong leg did 10,000. The next month I did 3,100. My leg did they did 200 more. You know, and right then and there, I realized, you know, I was fresh in the business a few months in. I realized people quit this business. So I'm not going to keep trying to bring back the dead. I'm going to keep giving birth. And I'm always going to do me. And I always made sure on my calendar, yes, it's full of launching new people on my team and other three-way phone calls or coffee dates with other people. But I make sure my calendar has stuff for me on it. And I've always been like that. I've never lost focus of where I am. And there's a lot of trainings out there on being like managers of your team. And I can honestly say I never fell in that category because I was always focused, not in a selfish way, but my personal business, because my family needed that. And, but this first half of my business, you guys, up until I lost my area qual the first time, rebuilt my area, and then I promoted to, you know, in between area and RVP, I was focusing on quantity events. You know, it was kind of when I started this business, we were kind of coming out of the 8 spot parties a month. There were still a lot of trainings on it. So I kind of built my business on that. And what I was doing was getting an event and be like, okay, 7 more. Okay, I need 6 more. And they were just quantity numbers on my calendar. And kind of the final breaking straw was I was putting myself in harmful situations, going to sketchy parts of town. And finally, this one was the final straw. It was just a sketchy hotel that I just trusted my gut and didn't go in there. I'm like, why am I doing that? Spending a night away from my family just to mark off an event off my calendar that wasn't quality. So we do it all and we teach it all. And I love the 40 new faces a month, as you guys know. But my team, we're not all social media. I'm not all social media. I started my Instagram account the day I started my business, you guys. So it's not about following. And probably the followers that I have are all Arbonne people. but we do it all and we teach it all at in-home events when they're quality. I love that. Healthy happy hours. We set up in boutiques. We do stuff at the gym, through a phone call, Zoom calls. We do it all. And, but what truly, and Carlita wanted me to touch on real quick before I jump into just my core of my training, just what works for me. I've tried, I try something, I don't like it, I tweak it, I do something else. But for me, I don't like if someone reaches out to me for information on the business, I don't send out videos, because if I got a video, I probably wouldn't watch it. So for my nation, and I've gotten a lot of feedback from my nation, but I do a live event on Sunday nights, every other Sunday. And I keep it open for 2 weeks, and then I go live again, keep it open for 2 weeks. So there's always an event open for my team to add people in. And I see them throughout the week. They tag people, they're adding people, they invite people, and that they really, really like that. That works for me. But honestly, once I honed in on this training right here, or just being able to talk to people, do you know how many people I've sponsored just out and about? It's amazing what happens when you put your phone down and you just talk to people. One way or the other, not like I need Arbonne comes up, whether it is for their physical health or they hate their job, and it's a disservice to other people if I don't mention it to them. But I don't go at it. Like sometimes Arbonne doesn't get brought up at all, but I make sure I get them on some kind of social media platform. And then they see my lifestyle. And I've had so many play dates or just coffee dates where people are just like, they're just as friends. And they're like, you've never mentioned Arbonne to me, and you aren't bombarding. I'm like, I know, I'm just chill as it. I'm just chill, and I just, do it like it is. But anyways, into my core training, talking about promoting 25 directs. To do that, you have to be extremely wide. You can't just sponsor 25 people and hope they all promote for AIT. But you have to build smart, and when you do that, that maximizes the compensation plan. And I kind of had a aha moment in Maui this year, because they recognized being 8 wide area managers. I didn't even know that was a thing to recognize. So me being a red personality, I was like, I'm going to be recognized next Maui for that. And at the time, I just promoted my 5th area manager. So I just knew, I was like, okay, if you're very, very wide district managers, the more wide you are DMs, the percentage of you promoting more areas is, that just makes sense. You're going to promote more areas. But if I were to ask every single one of you guys in the room right now, like, who's happy with where they're at? And no one's hand should be raised. Like no one, not even mine or anyone's. And you can be grateful with where you're at, but you can never be happy or content, because if you're content with where you're at, you're probably not going to get to the next level, right? And what I love about this business, honestly, is that we've never arrived. And we glorify. I remember promoting to regional vice president, and I was like, that's a huge accomplishment. It is, don't get me wrong. But I remember texting Blair, I'm like, I'm a quarter of the way. And Arbonne, they glorify it. And I'm like, so it's like you've never arrived. And then when you get to MVP, you're like, I'm just getting started. And it's so exciting. And I love that aspect of it. But there's 2 sides to this business. And I mean, I'm sure you guys are working on some of these amazing trainings Carlita has lined up for you, just the personal growth aspect. What book are you reading? How you handle no's, how you handle not hitting your goal of the month, your why in this business. And then there's the mechanic side. That's what I thrive in, because I am just a black and white type of person. I'm blunt, I'm bold, but I just like what you have to do to grow a successful business. And there's a strategy with everything you do. There's a strategy for promoting to DM. There's a strategy for promoting people out of your central, for maintaining the maintenance, for hitting your bonus. And when you truly, truly, truly understand the compensation plan and the importance of growing wide, the quicker or the more you can show your team the importance of it. And I knew since day one, I knew to grow wide, because you hear all the time, it's the only time only time in life you want to be wide is your Arbonne business. But I didn't understand that we were capped on our depth. Until like in between RVP and MVP. So I know I'm not the only one. And but what is, so maximizing that and growing, the bottom line, it comes down to growing your paycheck. And I get not everyone is money driven, but your goals, whether it's like whatever your goal is, I'm sure it needs financial backing. And the more money we can all make collectively, the world will be a better place, because we can help a lot of other people. So people get uncomfortable talking about their paycheck and uncomfortable. And I'm over here like, Why not? Why are we leaving all this money on the table, and let's maximize the comp plan, and that helps you grow with. And let me just see where I'm at so I stay on track. But all that means is when you're growing with and you're maximize that, it's your money today and your security tomorrow. You've protected your paycheck, and we got to show our teams how to protect their paycheck. And as you guys know, the comp plan pays you the most amount of money for growing with. And my family needed money. So right off the bat, I started growing wide, but I wasn't building smart. I would be like, oh, so-and-so from high school knows this person. I'm gonna put you underneath you. I'm gonna put you underneath you. I should be a lot wider than I am. And I'll give you my stats where I am wide, but I'm like, it keeps me up at night that I could be wider. But I'm happy that I caught it now, and I can show people right off the bat how to build successfully. So, real quick, I just want to show you guys, let me get my notes. As you guys know, this chart, and I don't know if you can see it on your screen. Carly, you can let me know if it's backwards. But this kind of like hurt my eyes at first, and then I became one with it. And I want to show you guys just a simple little bubble chart. And are you minimally 3 wide in your district, your area, and your RVP? And then you need to be 6 wide in your nation category. And the pay plan breaks up into 4 different pay plans. And when I broke it down like that, I'm like, that makes so much sense. So if you've gotten a district manager, you've taken advantage of 1 pay plan. If you've gotten to area, you've taken advantage of 2 pay plans, RVP 3, and obviously NVP all 4. But you minimally want to be 3 wide in the first 3 pay plans and 6 wide in the 4th. And if you aren't 3 wide in district, that's where you need to work. And then if you are, go to area. Are you minimally 3 wide? But I'll end this training with just why be minimum and be the most possible. I want everyone to be as many DMs as possible, minimally 8 wide areas and 8 wide RVPs. But anyways, this bubble chart, you guys, this might break it down a little bit better. So I have me at the top, and this is just, I'm going to focus on district. And you have your central. And as you know, your central is just anyone that hasn't promoted yet. So I want to maximize my district manager paycheck. I'm going to do 3 wide. I'm going to be 3 wide district managers. So you get paid as wide as you are deep. And then we're going to show these people, hey, to maximize your paycheck, grow as wide as you can, be minimally 3 wide. So now my first generation promotes out 3 wide, and now my second generation has 9 district managers in it because we told these people to be minimally 3 wide. And now my third generation has 27 district managers. And this pay plan, part of the district manager one, is fully maximized because now I get paid my depth. And what I was failing to do was I had preferred clients upgrade, and I placed them in like my third generation underneath people that I knew from high school. So when they promoted, they were in my 4th generation, and I'm not getting paid off of them. So that should have been another direct promotion. And I know I'm not the only one out there, but that right there, I was like, it makes so much sense that you need to promote out people from your central district. Bottom line, if you aren't promoting people out of your central district, your personal business isn't growing. You could sponsor some aces and have some really strong legs, but if your width is not going to grow if you aren't promoting people out of your central district. And that's like 3 to 5 new people each month, not preferred clients, because when your calendar is full, however you get your 40 faces new a month, 3 to 5 consultants a month. And let's see where I'm at. But I just wanted to share my facts with you guys, and then we can open this up to if anyone has any questions. But you should always be asking yourself, looking at your organization, who's new on my team? Who are the new people? How many new people every single month? Who am I launching? Who on my team is launching? And then who's in qual? And it all comes back to scheduling, sponsoring, and launching. And then when you do that, you teach new people how to start strong. You map out their DM qual, promote them out, and teach them to do the same thing. And like I said, minimally 3 to 5 people a month personally. I try my personal goal each month. I like to be top sponsor in my district, my area, my region, and my nation. If not number 1, I like to be top 3 at least, because that shows my team that I am leading from the front. And even they see me out in the field just grinding hard at spa nights for myself, in the gym, at boutique setting up. And this past week I was at an event for myself, and my team was like, where are you at? What are you doing? I'm like, I have a spa night. So like that motivates me so much to see you working, and I'm going to start working. So when I start announcing new people in my nation page that are direct to me, they're like, Jill's sponsoring. She doesn't really need me, you know, but it's like, okay, she's always going to be doing her. And that's what, when you do that, your team's going to do it. And it's kind of just like, you know, people are always like, well, how'd you do what you do? And it's like in an ocean, when an earthquake hits, the tsunami starts building and it's all this momentum underwater and you can't see the wave on the surface. But then when it crashes and hits the shore, it's just like, it's this momentum that just leading from the front, and then your team's leading their teams from the front. And it's just this crazy momentum. But anyways, I wanted to share with you when I truly honed in on promoting width, like promoting wide and building my business properly. When I finished out regional vice president in April 2018, I had only 3 direct district managers. So my district pay plan was maxed out because I was minimally 3 wide, so I got paid 3 deep. But now I was like, okay, but I was still building my business through the summer. I was still putting people underneath other people and just not being smart with that aspect. Now when I promoted out MVP 2018, I started to hone in on sponsoring direct to me and not building dumb. And in November 2018, I was a new MVP. I was now 12 wide district managers. So my bubble chart had 12 bubbles across. And I had 4 wide area managers, 4 direct area managers. So my area pay plan is now maxed out because I'm minimally 3 wide, so I get paid 3 deep. And currently in July, I have 4 regional vice presidents. So my region pay plan is maxed out because I'm more than 3 wide. So now when my RVPs start promoting, I don't know why she's on here. Sorry, when I get 3 wide, I get 3 down. So I'm 4 wide RVPs. I have 11 wide area managers. And in January, remember when Maui, I wanted to be 8 wide. Now I have 11 wide area managers and I'm 19 wide district managers. And that means I have like 19 bubbles in my bubble chart. So that's maximizing the compensation plan. And when I do that, now I can show my team how to do that. And, you know, and you got to stay ahead of your depth because depth happens in this business. It happens quicker than your width. So you sponsor a few aces, all of a sudden this grows. You have to grow this way to capture all of this. This is just money left out on the table. And at the end of the day, this is a business. So why leave money left out on the table? And I don't want you to wrap this up, but I don't want you guys to worry about what could happen. I want you to focus on your time and your effort and your energy in making things happen, and lead your team from the front. And you know, I lead with this business something fierce. I truly do, because it has changed my life. It has changed. It makes me cry what it's done for me, my family, and my girls, and my husband. And it doesn't get easier as you promote. People think that all the time. They're like, oh, well, you're MVP, or oh, you have the Mercedes. I'm going to wait till the Mercedes takes care of the business. No, it's a disservice to other people you come across if you don't share this business with them. And you know, that's what it comes down to, is I know what this has done for me, and I know what it can do for everyone I come across. So I talk about it with everyone. But growing with is just understanding how Arbonne has set up the comp plan for us. And it's growing wide, and it's sponsoring a lot of people direct to you and working with them and figure out what their goal is, because my goal with my business isn't anyone else's. So you need to figure out what their goal is, their 30, their 60, their 90-day goal, and go from there. So, you know, I was probably shorter than what I expected, but Carlita.
Thank you, honey. I am so grateful. Truly nuts and bolts training that helps people. I mean, working the comp plan, I say all the time, the only boss you have in this business is your comp plan. It tells you exactly where to work and how to work in order to get paid. And that's what we need to know and understand. And you just did a beautiful job of explaining it. So thank you very much, as well as inspiring people to go get wide and follow you and do what you're doing. I'm going to skip the question and answer part for time's sake because of all the technical difficulty. And I thank you for your time and being patient with us, and just thank you for being you, and keep rocking. You will never, ever, ever regret what you're doing right now, because you reap what you sow, more than you sow, later than you sow it. So as wild and big as it is now, we have 12 wide MVPs, Cecilia Stoll sitting here, that is living example of reaping what you sow later than you sow it. So thank you.
All right. Love you.
Love you. Love you.